Pete.
Yo, we back. All the gang is back again. Michael Zach is back. Krishan is back. Jeremy is back. We got my man Gino in the house. What's up, bro? I got to dap you up.
My guy.
Yo, Gino, man, we was talking off the record. We was kind of nervous to ask you this.
So go ahead and jump into it.
Get right after it.
Yeah.
Gino sent his bio. First of all, he sent his bio, which was dope. We love when I guess. And I was reading the bio, right? And I stopped right at the first black pastor in Louisville.
Yeah.
We was going to wait till the bio portion. We was going to get it going.
Just jump right in.
What was that like?
Crazy.
Pros and cons first.
Pros and cons.
Yeah, we ain't going to talk bad.
Definitely pros and cons.
Yeah, for sure.
So, context. I'm from Akron, so I ain't know nothing about Louisville. I had no idea about...
You ain't doing no research, bro?
Nah, bro. I mean, It was Canton. So, like, when I first came, I came for a church plant in
For sure.
Canton. In short, so like my experience with Canton started on the Northwest end. So that's all I knew. You know, I was new to this whole space. And the church that I was helping to like start was like connected to this denomination that had a church in Louisville. So around that same early part of the time that I was here, the pastor there retired. And so they were like, we need some people to fill the pulpit while we find a pastor, type of thing. So me and a dude that was pastoring the church in Canton, we were basically like balancing the two churches. We were preaching there, whatever, while they were doing their pastor search. They ended up like saying like, we don't want somebody else, we want y'all, type of thing.
I thought you were going to say we don't want nobody black.
Yeah, no, well,
Story's not over. Story's not
some of
over.
them probably definitely felt that because shortly after I came, a lot of people left. Right?
No way.
Some did. Like that was a thing. And
That
honestly,
ain't funny, but it like, that Soulja Boy meme. Hey, it ain't funny, but it is.
All right, so like let's back up for a little bit. Like let's give some cultural context to like
sure.
what's actually happening during this time. You got Mike Brown, right?
Yeah.
You got Trayvon Martin. You got my man Castile. You got like all these things that are happening culturally, and then you have the election. Right.
Yeah.
This is like, we talking like 2015. So like Obama still like, you know what I mean? Like lingering around there.
Right.
So like all these different type of things. And for me, like, I'm not one of those people who like, is politically correct all the time. So like, if things are going to happen or things are happening around us, like I'm not going to be a person that like, oh, we just going to talk about faith today. Like, no, we're going to talk about the dude that just got murdered that looked just like me.
For sure.
Right? Like, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of the things that I know none of these other pastors in this city are actually talking about.
So you chose to play the game on hard mode?
Yeah. Pause.
Pause.
But
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So like when you would bring those things up
Yeah.
in the denomination, like would they try to combat you or try to like go against? Like would you kind of
Some
see?
did like I wasn't the best like retention strategy, I guess. So like a lot of people, I'll commend a core group of people in that group that like were like, we don't understand you, nor do we understand where you come from. But like we trust that like God is in you, and because we trust that God is in you, like we gonna hear you out.
You would think that would be the reason they wouldn't even look at the color of your skin, but sometimes that shit shows.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's faith or not, it's like you talking about God, they just see he black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's quite unfortunate because, like I said, when we saw it, it was funny, but also that's still a dope accomplishment because you were first.
The first, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
like I said, I wanted to say congratulations and just leave it at that. When you were like, yeah, I didn't know anything about it. I was like, well, we're from Canton. We definitely do.
Yeah.
Somebody should tell them.
But usually people, when they move here from other places, they do their research.
but like, so like for me, like
Are you victim blaming right now?
No, I ain't been I just thought maybe he would have been like, all right, we in the area, but some people don't.
So again, like I never went into it like, oh, I'm gonna be the first, or
Right.
oh, like any of that. It was like, okay, I'm filling in preaching in this place. But then like how I found out was funny. Like I would talk to people like that I know from here, like they'd be like, yeah, like what do you do? And I'm like, I pastor. Oh, where you pastor at? Actually, I'm pastoring in these 2 places. One is Canton. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it's like a multi-ethnic type of expression. Like
sure.
a whole bunch of culture. Okay, like that makes sense. And then where's the other one at? In Louisville. And I'm like, I always got that look like, Cass wouldn't say nothing, but you could tell like when Cass looked like, oh yeah, something.
When they hit you with
You don't know, bro.
You better than me.
You're the first black guy there.
And I was like, what? And then like nobody really told me. And then then I started doing research. That prompted me to do research. And then I was like, yo. And it wasn't even like a lot of research in the sense of like long time ago. Like I had friends who had experiences in Louisville, whether it was in sports or athletics or whatever. And like they would have like these stories. And then those stories started to be like, yo, like I remember one Sunday, during the sermon, I read the comments from like a post. It was like a popular post, which got me in trouble. But I read from a popular post like all the things that people were saying online about.
You read it in church?
Yeah.
That's right, bro. Let them know.
Yeah.
About you?
Oh, these were like from that community.
It was from people outside of the community that were talking about Louisville.
Oh, gotcha.
And so I was just like, this is what the narrative of this city is. So for me, all right, on a practical sense, it was like kind of like an accident. Like I didn't know what I was walking into. On a spiritual sense, though, it was like, all right, like why would God allow me to be in this place at this time in a space where there's this type of history at a church that was called Beacon of Hope? Like that was the name of the church. So it was like, oh, like maybe what if God is like actually trying to change the narrative between starting with us, starting with let's have the conversations that nobody else is having. Let's do the stuff that nobody else is willing to do. Like let's do the hard thing to like actually move the needle in the right direction.
So you think God allowed you to be there to be challenged?
I think it was mutually. I think for me it was like I learned insight to what, like, if I could just speak candidly, like
say what you mean, brother.
I learned insight into how white evangelical people that are primarily conservative, their process of how they think, and the rationale in which how they think. Like, I'm an expert in racism because I've experienced it my whole life. So like on the other side of it, I never knew like what the thought process was or like and so like we have very, very hard conversations, not even just about the cultural things, but just about like our own stories.
Yeah.
About my experience with police, about my, different things that I experienced and things like that. And like, it's one thing that like, the thing that I realize is like, it's harder to deny somebody's story than it is like their way of thinking, or like they had an idea about certain ideas, but it's different when it comes through like a person that you actually care about in the story. So like what happened with that core group of people that were willing to lean in when everybody leaned out, like at the end of it, like we had hard conversations, we had tears, we had yelling, we had people walk out sometimes. But like the dope thing was people kept coming back to the table. So after they walked out, it was like, I'm still gonna come back to church on Sunday.
They came to their senses because they exposed themselves.
And they couldn't deny the story.
Right.
And then after that, like what happened was like some of those people became family. Like for real. Like those people came, supported my daughter. Those people came when times was hard and like money wasn't flowing in, all like that. Like they were the ones that like chipped in and paid my, my little bill that was late. Helped me pay off my car. Like they took care of me. So
you did reach people, it seems like maybe not necessarily you, but like the Black experience maybe.
Yeah.
Cause like obviously out there, I mean, I imagine it was a lot of older people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they obviously, they probably ain't got a lot of Black friends or be around a lot.
They're set in their ways. They know what
Yeah,
They believe
you
what they
know, but
believe.
for them
Yeah.
to actually, you know, like you said, to be able to, y'all have these screaming matches or people walking out or not being able to have the conversation out of anger or whatever, and
Yeah.
then turn around and still come back, and then that's, you know, slowly start to understand and then become those kind of people to you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, you were there to be challenged, but also to challenge those people, it seems like. And, you know, I mean, it is dope. And when I mean, like, you know, congratulations, obviously we made a little jokes about it, like, but I mean, you did do something
Right.
there,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so that is an accomplishment. And that is an actual congratulations that I may just be like, oh, you know, you're better than me, because I couldn't do it.
Because he was really in in there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you got to experience it, because a lot of our assumptions about places like that is just what we hear.
Yeah.
And like, just be real, a lot of us have been pulled over in that area.
My first experience there was getting pulled over.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first meeting that I went to, we had a leadership meeting. We got there a little early, so we went to that little Grinders that's there on Mahoney. Mm-hmm. So we went to the Grinders or whatever. We walked in. It felt like Remember the Titans. When
Oh yeah, got
we
real
walked
quiet.
in, you hear the plate scratch, like, and
It was like the entrance in the back. No, I'm just
Yeah.
playing.
and it felt like that. And then me and my sis sat down and like we looked at each other like, this feels very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then like literally a few minutes later, like these police officers walked in, they sat down. So, and they were like looking at us. So we were like, oh, this is. So then we go into a meeting. Now this is our first leadership meeting. It went for like 3 hours. It was long. We came out, and when I came out, the police car was in the parking lot. So I get in the car. As soon as I pull out, they pull out behind me.
For real.
Yeah, like that was my first. That was like literally my first experience in Louisville. One of the things that I will say though, that I feel like I learned from that was, there's certain ideas and things that are, you know, have valid experiences that perpetuate these ideas. But it's really an exposure problem.
Right.
The people who leaned in, like out of that core group, the people who leaned in the most that I was surprised about were the ones that had like mixed grandkids, right? Like it's different when you got skin in the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's different when you have, like, because ideas are just ideas until they have faces, right? So like if you have, it's harder to, again, it goes back to that story thing. And even psychologically, it's proven that like we learn better in stories. And it's harder to deny a story or deny like a person's reality and their experience.
Yeah.
Than it is to like dismiss an idea, like, you know, critical race theory. Like that's controversial because it's an idea. People don't have like faces that go behind the idea to actually make it make sense or make it valuable to them, type of thing. But when you can build it into a relationship based off of a relationship, and then some of those things get worked out, is different than like we already have our own opinions about each other before we even, and that's already hindering like us being able to even have any type of relationship. So I'll say that like I think it was God's provision for me to get in that situation where like I didn't know. Like my ignorance was the thing that I think helped me get to that point to like where we could have some of those conversations because I didn't know. And the fact that I didn't know helped me to like almost like be brave in those senses.
Well, you learn.
Yeah,
You learn.
early.
But yeah, it's like on the other side of that, I feel like a lot of them, they don't know it either. You know, they're all in their own little pocket out there.
It's a bubble.
Yeah,
and
it is.
and that's
It's
why I
crazy
never
'cause it's
really
only 10
said it
minutes
was
away.
always like everybody out there. Because like I was saying before we got started, like I got a couple of friends who live out there.
Yeah.
And you know, like you know one of them, you know, and they're really nice people. They don't hate anybody. They don't move like that. They don't mess with people who do move like that. But you know, they went out there just because they like the house type deal.
Yeah.
And
It's affordable. It's affordable.
Yeah,
nice houses.
That's what I'm saying. You get a crib out
I've
there.
never been like, oh man, it's bad out there, but you do got to say like it could get bad. It could get bad out there, and that's just because there's a lot more people who maybe don't have the experience of being able to sit down and talk to somebody and have those conversations that the people around them don't want to have because they're too uncomfortable to have.
Yeah.
Like both y'all had to have them, because you got to be there. If they believe in what they believe in and actually believe it, they got to be there.
Yeah.
And y'all got to work it out.
And that church was around for like almost 140 years. So like
the church wasn't going nowhere.
In a way,
it was legacy there.
In a way, it's crazy to me that people can claim any kind of faith, but also be like, I'm not going to listen to what he has to say because of the color of his skin.
And the fact that's big because of the history. You said 140 years and a black pastor. They should have been proud of that, but unfortunately, their ignorance was like, oh no, he's black.
I'm sure there were.
They were.
Yeah.
I think there was, again, pros and cons.
Right.
I think the people were like prideful about that, but I think the implications of what that actually meant, a lot of people didn't like actually live into. So what it looked like, or what it felt like, I won't say look like, what it felt like on my end was I was doing the majority of the work.
Yeah.
And so like, and that was eventually why I was like, I can't do this no more. But yeah, I mean, the thing that makes the conversation hard is like, everything that we've been talking about is it's fairly surface level, right? It's all relationships. It's the events and the things that happen. But underneath that is like a pattern and a pathway of like somebody paved for these realities to exist. And then underneath that is like systems and structures that like help like do this. Like the reason why it's all white is because there were systems put in place
to preserve that.
That preserve it, exactly. And to separate like the folks who were from Canton.
And that's why we have those stories that we joke about, like, we don't go to Louisville, we don't go to Minerva, because that area, in respect to the people we know from those areas, but that was the first time I seen a Blue Lives Matter sign in a restaurant in person. And I'm just like, oh, y'all open with it. You know what I'm saying?
So like MAGA hats. Like
I remember back in the day, I used to drive like an hour or so to go talk to this girl, and I remember Jéan one time, he was just like, what the hell are you doing going out that way? And it's just like, what you mean? I ain't really worried about it. And he was like, don't.
Was she that pretty?
Them towns.
Zach said she was that pretty.
She was that pretty.
Bad.
She was bad, right? You going to Louisville?
Drive an hour.
Do you think, like, if you would have, like, because I know you said going into it you didn't know about the area. Do you think if you knew about the area beforehand or, like, were aware of, like, the type of culture that's in Louisville, would you have still gone through and went to the church? And
probably not.
No.
Yeah, like, people, like, I'm like, I don't take credit for things that like I feel like I shouldn't deserve credit for.
For sure.
So like, I feel like it was actually like my ignorance of me not knowing that like helped me be brave in situations because I just didn't know any better. Like I'm the type of person to where like if I believe something passionately, especially if it affects people that I love or that I care about. And you got to remember, like as I'm pastoring this church in Louisville, I'm living over by Shore. So like my relationships that are developing and their opinions are more than just opinions to me. Like your opinions are actually affecting like my neighbors. You know what I mean? Like that was if you remember, that was a big time with like immigration and stuff.
Yeah, for real.
Shore is super populated with like Hispanic folks.
Oh, yeah.
You a risk taker, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Lived in Shore, Louisville.
Yeah. I mean, but even that, like, even Shorb though, like I didn't like. Again, I'm from Akron, so I learned as I was already there. You know what I mean, I got to know people though. Like I had an in to where like there was already people who had relationships. So my friends had friends, and then like I kind of like just developed my own relationship with people.
She was good out there.
Yeah,
and you was tapped in.
Certified.
With people.
Yeah.
You stamped.
Yeah, I could.
He stamped out
I
there.
don't think he would have
then-
willingly went into a Lion's Den though.
No,
Oh yeah.
Just-
What, Louisville or Short?
Yeah, not sure. Hey, sure.
Short is different.
I feel like
Yeah,
Shore isn't as does. I'm on Shore a lot, you know,
talked
for
about
It has a
work.
bad reputation. It really is not all
It
that.
does get
It-
like a worse reputation than it really is.
And the stuff that happens there that's like foul ain't really from the people that it's not typically from the people that
Exactly.
live there. It's from people that come out and
Right.
and whatever.
So I never felt like I was in any kind of danger.
I'm over there with a big ass truck with thousands of dollars of merchandise in it. Nobody's ever, and anybody who does walk up, they'll do the little joke, "Oh, bring that to me" or something. You know, and there's a lot of older people.
And I've always felt that way when it comes to the stereotypes of neighborhoods such as Shore, but even where I deliver mail at.
Yeah.
Like people who don't know me or know that neighborhood, they just read off what's in the repository.
Yeah.
because you like around Spring and all that.
Hey, I'm on
But
Fifth
like
Street.
those stories, like because at one time it was bad, and those stories have legacy too.
Yeah.
So like those stories, even if it doesn't exist, even if that reality doesn't exist now, like it's still like created some inhibitions that people have about like, you know what I mean, like engaging into certain spaces. But like, you know, for Ken for All People, like on that side of things that I do, like that's what we're trying to change is like, and not just change it from like, you know, a standpoint of, you know, we want to reshape the
Yeah.
community, but like, how do we improve it? How do we make it better? How do we improve housing? How do we, you know, create jobs? How do we, like, I mean, those different type of ideas that are just not just like, all right, we want to make a sentimental, like, change. Like, how do we, like, literally start to change, like, a neighborhood?
People. Like
Yeah.
it has to start there because you can make all the roundabouts and put all the street lights and nice little touches you want all up and down 12th Street all you want to, but like if
It's
the
nothing
community
but
don't have the pride in keeping it and
Yeah.
maintaining it, then you know
Yeah.
it's not going to happen. But on the other hand, when you got so many of these, because like I said, I'm over there all the time. Property management over there is terrible.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh, they don't
It's-
take
it's
care of
terrible.
anything over
It's
there.
crazy.
And that's why a lot of these people, they're in these houses because they gotta be, you know. And that's why I ain't really like I don't talk down on them too much. Like I don't like having to go over there too much if I don't have to. But I understand it, and I can guarantee because a lot of those houses they're built nice.
Yeah.
Like, they're really built really nice houses.
And they're big houses too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 or
and
5
if-
real big.
bedrooms, and you can't even tell.
yeah, and if
Yeah.
they were just maintained by people who gave a fuck, you know. And sorry, I'm a language pastor.
Listen.
But
We all was like, hold on, bro. Wait a minute.
No, bro, speak for you.
All right,
but
cool.
you know, if the
might
people
have
who
a
run these weren't slumlords, you know.
he was about to be like, hell yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
like,
you know, maybe then people would have more pride in maintaining these neighborhoods, and then you start building stuff and putting stuff there, and maybe the city won't be as apprehensive about putting more businesses here, and people won't be afraid to come down here. But you got to change.
Yeah.
You know, it starts with the people.
And
Unfortunately,
that's trauma. Like a lot of that is trauma.
Trauma.
Right? Like it's not even. But one of the things that like we noticed, like it's like 9th Street, right? So 9th Street, you'll start to see like all these Camp for All People houses that were like, one we built a new one, which is crazy. Like we built
Dope.
the first one since like 07, basically since the ones that they did by the Academy, and some of these other houses that are next to it, we renovated it, put new siding and things like that. And the thing that you start to notice is like as we started to do that, like other people started to do it on their own. So like
What's up?
they put their own siding up, they start doing their own landscaping, they start doing
like
other things.
lead by example.
Trying.
I like
that's
that.
that's the thing is like, you know, it's very easy. It's very easy to point out problems or point out what it is that we don't have or point out like all that type of stuff. For us, we look at like, we always call it asset-based community development. We look at the assets, like what, instead of looking at what we don't have, let's look at what we do have. Let's figure out how to leverage what we do have, put it together, and then get some stuff that we don't have. You know what I mean? To move the needle. I don't think we have the illusion that like we're gonna solve the problem, you know, overnight, but like we focus on moving the needle, you know, like what can we do to like maybe we can't fix it, but what can we do to make it better? And then like let's do that, and then let's do that again.
And maybe we don't fix it.
Yeah,
In our
that's
lifetime,
it. That's it.
maybe we just lay the seeds for the next group of people to do it. But like
That's
that
it.
kind of shit's contagious. Like
That's it.
when you start doing it, but a lot of people don't want to start. But like you said, when we started doing it, other people started taking initiative to do it on their own, and it's like that just goes down the block. It's like the lawnmower thing when you got neighbors.
Yeah.
I mow my lawn, my neighbor's like, gosh, let me get out here. You know what I'm saying? Because me and my neighbor, we were doing it at the same time. He's like, yeah, she got me out here now. I'm like, yeah, my bad, bro. But because he saw me out here doing
Stepped
it.
it up for everybody.
Yeah, and now you start hearing them all throughout the neighborhood. Now everybody out here, dudes over here.
That's
Because people got to be shown, not told.
yeah. Lead by
Unfortunately.
example. Real quick, where can they follow you at, man? What's your social media?
Easy is Gino Haynes at Gino Haynes on Instagram. I think same thing on Threads. I ain't used one yet. Facebook, same thing, Gino Haynes. You can go to the website, The Legacy in Action, thelegacyinaction.com. I think that's all of them.
All right.
Email me, Haynes at thelegacyinaction.com.
See, Weaves, where can they follow you at?
Instagram, Krishan_White, Facebook, I guess.
Jeremy, where can they follow you?
Facebook's is Jeremy Andrew. Instagram is _Ginger_Ninja_1.
All right, Michael and Zach.
Instagram and Twitter at ZWorthy68 or Facebook Zach Worthy.
All right, y'all know what it is, man. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok at Jean P the MC, www.jeanpthemc.com. And please follow our podcast, SWYM Podcast on Instagram. We're on YouTube, so if you're watching this, subscribe, like, comment, do all that cool stuff. Help us out, man.
Do you have a Threads yet?
Yeah, I have a Threads too, Jean.
What the fuck you post on Threads?
It's like
What's on Threads?
it's like a better.
It ain't bad.
Why do all of these social medias
better?
exist?
It ain't, no, there's
I
nothing
don't
on
know,
Threads.
bro, but I have
There's
them.
nothing on Threads. There's nothing.
Just
on
try it.
I got one. I ain't used it yet.
He said he
Come on.
even said he ain't used
I
it. What is it?
don't even know how to use it. I'm the worst social media.
There's probably
person in the
150
world.
people total.
I took forever to get an Instagram, and I got it just for the podcast mainly. Like I don't.
I feel like I'm the worst. I'm the worst at just like marketing. Like I do a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't like nobody knows. My wife is like, bro,
This is good marketing right here.
it is. I appreciate this.
Nah, man, you gonna stick around with us?
Absolutely.
All right, man. This is episode 140. Episode 140. Jean P the MC,
Sweet.
Jeremy in the house, Michael is Zach. We got the gang, Jordan, Chase in the house. We got my man Gino in here. We gonna stick around, man. Say what you mean. We'll be right back.
Interesting socks.
Peace.
Say what you mean what you say. I'm from the 330, where them boys don't play. Say what you mean what you say. I'm for no arguments, yeah, I got next, Jean P.
No, we got the hats for a reason.
Episode 140. Say what you mean podcast. We trying to get Zach to show his ball. You ain't shaved in 2 weeks?
I ain't shaved my head in like 2 weeks.
That mean you
man.
grinding because my face was looking crazy. I was looking super
I haven't
homeless.
shaved my face in like 2.5 years.
Dang. I wish I had them problems, but mine don't connect right here.
Hey, it took me a little minute.
Don't connect
It did.
at all.
It took me a minute. I had to live through the like.
Y'all give me hope.
That's a word, brother.
Thank you, man.
Sometimes you gotta live through the. No, I'm just.
There we go. Because right here just ain't doing it for me, man.
I'm getting there. My
spoiled.
barber hooking me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting there.
Shout out to the
Yeah.
brothers here with beards.
What do you brush?
Jeremy.
You brushing your imagination over?
Gotta brush
Gotta
my hair
stimulate the
too.
follicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys know you got nice waves. I'll never.
Yeah, we
You'll
got the
never. You can
360s,
never.
07 back.
You can, bro. I know you're not talking with them jeans on.
I was
do that.
giving you a compliment. Hey, I like my
Them early
jeans.
2000s.
Fly, hey, baggy, yeah. I be seeing all the rappers at Coachella with the big baggy pants, so I'm just
I
following
can hear
the trend.
shoulder lean for some reason.
Nah, this
Anybody else hear that?
episode 140, we got my man Gino Haynes in the house, man. How you doing today?
I'm good, bro.
You here clowning with us, man. So what you think of the pod, man?
This
you
is
know.
dope, bro. Like,
You've been doing
I
multiple
appreciate it.
podcasts though, right?
Apparently, like recently, yes. I just did one earlier with Lucas.
Shout out Lucas, man.
That's my guy.
He's doing
That's
his
my
media
dude.
tour right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
He's
Mr.
an important.
World.
We
He's
always-
first.
We
I
always
feel
get people on the pod when they on their like press runs.
Listen, man. Like I'm appreciative of
Nah,
all of
thank you for
this.
being on
You know,
our show.
He's the first black guy ever in Louisville. So
Yeah.
his media tour.
Willis there too though. Willis Gorge, our man Willis. Willis lives out there.
Does Willis
Willis
live
ain't out there in Louisville.
I think was he out there?
He ain't. I've been to. I be at Willis's house. He ain't out in Louisville.
When I went to Willis's crib, he was out there. I think he lived out there. I don't know
Maybe
where
he
he's at
lived out
now.
there. No, I ain't gonna
Alright.
shout his address out,
Yeah, I
obviously.
ain't gonna
but no,
do that.
he's not over
Shout out
there.
East 16th.
So
Shout out
Gino was
Willis.
So Gino is the second African American that's been in Louisville. So we gonna give him that. It's a couple.
It's 2% people of color there.
Yeah, 1, 2. You know what? Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, man, we hear my man Gino, but before we get into the pod, we gotta, pay some bills. So what time is it?
It's sponsor
It's
time.
sponsor time. Our first sponsor being the Hub Art Factory, this cool place. Shout out to Tim Carmody. Gino, what's your first time in here, man? What you think of the space?
It's just dope, bro. I'm a fan of art. I'm a creator. I used to rap back in the day.
What?
Yeah, back in the day.
Where you got some bars?
I'm retired. But yeah, no, like this. I love creativity. So
Yeah.
anything that's like artsy and like creative, I'm a fan of.
Yeah, shout
I
out
just
to Tim,
peeped you
man.
and your son are wearing the same Crocs.
Me and Amir.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son
You
in
did that
here,
on
man.
purpose?
He over there. Nah, he just want to be like his dad.
Amir, I'm sorry you got.
I don't
deal
feel
with
like
that.
he wanted to do it for that
He got
reason.
his headphones on. He ain't thinking about us.
No, he's not.
He over there watching TikTok,
cool.
YouTube, man. But nah, we in here. Tim Carmody, owner of the Hub, and
Shout out.
Aaron Dukes, Pristine Steam Wash, and Latrice Snodgrass.
Shout out.
At Equity House. And then later on today, it'll be out by then, but Walking with a Purpose is having a block party, talent showcase. I'll be performing there today. So shout out to Latoni, shout out to Ron for doing great things. Walk with a Purpose is a dope organization.
Oh, what are you going to be doing there?
You dope.
Rapping. Shut up. In my jeans.
Oh no, you got to change.
Nah, these jeans
It's gonna be
fucking-
too hot.
Bro, I don't know. It's Ohio. We didn't know what season we been in. It'd be hot.
It'd be hot today.
Be 80
cold.
today though.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, man.
Put some
I got
for
shorts
that.
on. This feel good. It's like my inaugural
It's we
break
here.
in. Like we here. Yeah, we here.
We here, man. So shout out to all those great sponsors. So Gino, man,
Yeah, bro.
where you from, brother?
So I'm from Akron.
330, okay.
3 born and raised. I moved here in 2015.
Okay.
So I've been in Canton ever since.
What was it like growing up for you in Akron?
Dope. I feel like it was interesting because I went to private school from kindergarten all the way through my sophomore year of high school, but I lived in the hood, so I had these like very different, like I go to school and there was like one side of it, and it was like that side, right, and all these things and all these people. My school was diverse, so I grew up around a lot of diversity at school.
What's up?
A lot of folks from literally all over the world. We had a dude that was in our class that was from like Mother Teresa's orphanage. Like
man.
it was crazy. So like I grew up around.
And that selection of students right there.
Yeah, yeah. And then I grew up like at home though, I'd be like in the hood. So it was like
What part of Akron?
so West Side.
West Side.
Roslyn.
Ah,
Yeah.
you from Akron.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, when I hear West Side, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, bro, you a risk taker. West Side of Akron, Louisville, sure. You ain't afraid of nothing.
Listen.
Did you play sports growing up?
I played basketball. They wanted me to play football. I was going to play football, but it didn't work out. But
You like basketball more?
yeah, I was a basketball guy.
Yeah? You out there giving it to him on the court?
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, these knees is different.
Ah.
So I don't know. I don't know who I'm giving buck. I can still shoot though, but
You hooping?
yeah, I got that old man rec game now.
just filing.
Yeah, I'm giving caps just a lot of shoulder.
A lot of shoulder.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at your bio, I was just noticing like a lot of community efforts that you've done within Stark County. But just in the early days, did you ever have any type of experience like that growing up? Like early days of community service? Like was your parents or family like involved in community? Where did that spirit of like service come from?
Yeah. Well, I didn't ever really think about it, really, surprisingly. But I think, like, I remember going to Urban League when I was younger. I would go to their camps. I would go to like these little community events that we would have, or Juneteenth festival.
Yeah.
We used to have, because I was like a couple blocks away from where we live.
Juneteenth is that festival on Copley?
Yeah. Or it was on Hawkins.
Okay, yeah.
Hawkins Park, little basketball.
I went to one a
court.
couple years ago. That was lit.
Yeah. So we would go to things like that. So I felt like I always got to see it. And then like going to St. V, used to have community hours going into your next year. So I would have to do like community service in different ways. And so I got like I think maybe an early start doing some of that stuff for sure. But I don't think it was in my radar to like, oh, like when I graduate, I'm gonna make sure I give back type of thing.
What was on your radar when you were right? Did you want to do once you graduated?
Make money.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the thing. I was like, well, what can I do that's gonna make me the most money?
And you settled on ministry.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That didn't work out too well, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was an accident, bro. Like
Being a minister?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Like it was like so that was one thing when I was young. So you got to remember, like I went to a Catholic school. I live in the hood, so I lived in this like constant like dichotomy of like people like, oh, like what did you grow up Baptist? I was like, bro, I grew up confused.
Yeah.
like I was going, and back in the day, like when we went to St. Mary's, because that was the school I went to, elementary. Shout out to St. Mary's. You had to go to mass before class, like Monday through Friday. So like we was doing mass like that. And then I was going to like a non-denominational church on Sunday. And it was like, like hooping and hollering over here. And they like talking in Latin over here. Like how this ain't the same God. Like what y'all.
So it was like two different types of Christianity.
Yeah.
It really is.
Where like a lot of people looked at it like, all right, like that's super contradicting. Like, that like illegitimizes like, you know what I mean, this whole God thing. For me, it made me more curious.
Yeah.
Like, how did people come to that conclusion? You know? And then and shout out to St. Mary's too, like our first 4 years, like first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade was all like biblical stories and all that other type of stuff. But like 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, we did like theology classes and origins of religion and like all these different type of things. So like I'm a history buff. So like I love history because I believe that, you know, history informs like how we came to our realities now. So that made me super interested in like what shaped these realities. How did these people come to these conclusions? Why are the things the way that they are, and like all that type of stuff. So like, but when I was younger, it was funny. I would dress up like a priest, like sometimes, and then I would dress up as like a preacher sometimes, and then I would do that. But then like as I got older, I was like, I ain't doing that.
You can't pick which one to wear.
No, I was like, it was more like I was just like, I don't see. I was having trouble seeing the relevancy of Christianity and all these different type of things, and like all the standard like hood things are like, well, you know, Christianity is a white man's religion, all that type of stuff played into it. And then like I like had this crazy like supernatural experience with God that like I couldn't deny.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. I mean, if y'all want to know.
Yeah.
So long story short, I had a lot of stuff in my life that was just like, it felt like I was spiraling. But like the events of the things that were happening in my life were happening such in a way that it felt like it was like orchestrated in some type of way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was like, is God trying to talk to me? I don't know. Like I'm waiting for, you know, James Earl Jones' voice from heaven to be like.
That's definitely what I thought God sounded like.
Yeah.
So we're not alone.
You know what I mean? Like
Morgan
Mufasa,
Freeman.
Yeah. Old black man voice.
Strong, yeah, one of those.
Yeah. And it got really, really bad one night. And I remember I was living with my brother. And I was living in the basement, and I went and I sat on my bed, and I was like crying, like God, please just show me. Like if this is you, like show me what it is that you want me to do. I'll do it. But like I can't spiral anymore. Like I can't do this on my own anymore. Like I don't know what to do. Please just show me. I'll do whatever it is. I don't care what it takes. Like just show me. So I'm like, show me, just show me, literally over and over, show me, just show me, just show me. I'm crying myself. I cried myself literally to sleep. And then the next morning when I went to go wake up, you know, like that moment where you wake up, but your eyes are still closed. You know you up.
Yeah.
And I heard a voice say, show me. And I got up, like I looked up, like, and it was so like loud that I thought it was my brother. So I was like, Kenny? Like I looked around, nobody said anything. At the time, it was me, him, his wife, and his two twin babies. They were like a couple months old. So I went upstairs, and when I opened up my eyes, like the world felt different. Like everything, like light seemed brighter, colors seemed brighter. Like it was just this weird experience. So I went upstairs, and my sister-in-law was in the kitchen making breakfast, and I was like, yo, like, where's my brother? I think I heard him say like something to me. It's just, your brother been at work for the last 3 hours. So I don't know who you heard, but like, that wasn't your brother.
It was James Earl Jones.
It was James Earl Jones, bro. And then, so like, you would think like, oh, I had this crazy experience. Like that changed everything. Nope. I was still wilding out. Like I went to the next week, my cousin was like, or the girl hit me up like midnight, long time ago. My wife listened. This long. Long.
Disclaimer.
And
We get that at the bottom of the video. This was a long time ago.
long.
We just gonna put he's married on the bottom of the game.
Proudly married. She's the best thing in the world. But she hit me up super late. You know why girls hit you up super late. So she wanted me to come over.
Good conversation.
Yeah, exactly. So me being a good conversator, I was going to go, ain't even a word, but I went to the car and I went to go start the car and the car wouldn't even click. It wasn't even doing nothing. So yo, like, what's going on? So I called like, hey, I ain't going to be able to make my car ain't starting. Next morning, I'm like, all right, like I got to go to work. I'm going to have to call AAA or somebody. Let me go try to start the car up again.
Start
right up. I'm like, yeah.
Ooh.
And then
You weren't meant to have good conversations.
man,
Well, it meant that ain't.
He said, talk to me.
That body.
I told you, show me, not show her.
He was like, it's not
She ain't
Bible
got
study,
nothing to
sir.
say.
Where are you going?
Exactly.
Where are you going? All right.
And then, so like the last thing that like, so it was like these events like that would happen, and then like the last thing that like had me sold all in, my cousin hit me up. So back when I'm living with my brother at this time, he was staying down in the valley where like all the little bars and stuff is at. So my other cousin was like, or my one cousin was like, hey, meet me at the bars. I was all right, cool. I was like, I'm right here, so I'll probably beat you there. So I got there. My drink was a Long Island iced tea.
Classic.
I always get the Long Island iced tea. That was, every once in a while I still get, Long Island. I don't drink that as many as much as I'm more of a bourbon guy.
Yeah, okay.
I'm more of a bourbon guy.
Got some class.
Anyway, yeah, class. You got to grow
Classy.
up. I'm mature now, sophisticated. Anyway, so we go to this bar. I go to this bar and I get the drink. I sit it down again. Like I've had this drink hundreds of, maybe even 1,000 times. And I sit it down, I take a sip, and it feels like it tastes different. And then I put it down, and bro, the same voice that said, show me, said,
Buy me a drink.
make it a double. No. It was like, look around you. And I like looked around, and it said, it's nothing for you here. And then I got up and I walked out, and then like, bro, I'm gonna be honest, like I didn't feel any real need to like read my Bible, like at the time. But I remember praying like, okay, if you are calling me to something, like I know it has to do with this Bible, but I have no motivation to read it. So like, you gotta help me here. And I started to read it, and I would look up and like 4 hours would go by.
Wow.
And I'd be reading these stories, but it wasn't like I was reading these stories. It was like I was reading things about what just happened to me. So like where I feel like a lot of people come to Jesus or come to faith by, you know, they hear this word or this sermon or whatever, and then they react to it. I had this experience first, and then like the knowledge on the back end of it. So like, I feel like, and this is why even like when I go to like anybody or I try to interact with anybody on a spiritual level, like I always drive experience over theology. Cause like, if I'm honest, my theology has been broken several times. And it goes back to like what you had asked, I think a little bit earlier, of like, how do people like who claim to be of faith, like not see other like people? Is because I always like use this like little triangle thing. It's like, it's whatever your moral like compass thing is for us, you know, Christians, it's like the Bible. And then it's like your experience, right? So like your experience and your idea of whatever that moral thing is shapes your worldview.
Yeah.
And you can become entrenched in that. But like, there's something like the third piece is like reality, right? And there's other people's experiences in reality that are outside of your experience and outside of your understanding of whatever that moral compass thing is. And you have to have a good balance of those things to be able to, I think, engage culture and people in a relevant way.
I agree.
It's so crazy, like, listening to you say all of that, because, like, I never had a voice, per se, but I do remember some, like, few weeks ago, like, John knows, you know, I got a lot going on and everything, so I find myself praying a lot, because I don't sleep. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember if I told you or if I told P, but I remember just one day I woke up, and I just remember telling one of you, like, outside feels different. Like everything just feels different. Like it don't feel like it's real. And I know I sounded crazy, but I mean, you know, Jéan knows that a lot of things have, you know, been on the upswing the last few days. And I mean, I don't know if it's that, but it almost felt like I stepped into a different reality. Like, and I don't know. It's just everything is better. Like everything's different. Like people are telling me that I sound different, that I seem different, like I'm better. And I don't know. I mean, I believe in God because, like I said, like kind of how you said that was an accident. Same thing with my father. He's been doing it for, I mean, I think it was in 7th grade when he started on that path, but he was a janitor for his church and eventually just took interest in it and things started going well and he started going more and things started getting better. And then he just eventually wanted that for his life and found his wife. And, you know, I got two little brother, little brother and little sister now, and everything just worked out for him. It just got better. And I don't know, man. I believe in that. Like, I don't think everybody's going to get that voice. Yeah. I'm not, and I do believe that voice is real. Yeah. But sometimes it'll just be different. Yeah. Like one day it's just going to be different and you're not going to be able to explain how. You're not going to see it coming. You're not going to know right off the rip that it's there, but you'll feel stuff. And like I said, for me, it's just outside felt different. Like, like everything that I had done before that day was just a simulation. It was weird how to explain it. And I don't know, things are just better now and I love it, but
yeah, man. I feel like for me, like I never heard that voice again, but God's voice sounds a lot like my voice internally. But way like in a way that like, I would never say.
Or like you know right from wrong. Like I think it's that voice of knowing, even if it's not God per se. I think we all have that thing inside of us where we know like,
what I feel like is like bad. I know exactly what you're saying.
So like there's to bring it back to the biblical example. Like there's the first sin, right? So Genesis chapter 2 says that when God breathed into man, they became a living being. In the Hebrew, that phrase means to be complete in physical attributes, but also spiritual ones. And like, so those things are supposed to be intertwined together, right? The first sin is not that they eat a fruit. Like we say that's the story, but that's not actually the first sin is that they chose to believe a different truth outside of the one that like God prescribed. And the expression or the manifestation of that decision is that they ate the fruit.
So it's like a metaphor.
For the most part, it was they sinned when they chose to believe another truth outside of what God told them. And then when they eat, they fall, which the fall, it says that you will surely die. They don't die. You read Genesis chapter 5 and they're like 100 or a couple hundred years old, so they didn't die right away, but they died this spiritual like separation. Right. And so you have like this spiritual separation and then like all of the ramifications of spiritual separation, which is like death. Like the next thing that happens is, Cain kills Abel. And then you have all these like, and then this just multiplies. This whole idea of like what Jesus did was he tried to like, he was the first one. He was the second Adam, as the Bible says. Like he restored like that relationship to where like we could have wholeness, like restoration, wholeness, redemption. All of that is like, it's trying to sew back what was like ripped apart. Right. So when we think about like, knowledge, like it's like by what standard, right? Like by what standard are we, like the tree is called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's the knowledge of another set of truth and another set of what is good and what is evil by another standard other than God's. Right. And we can live into that. And if we live into that, that has its consequences. But so does.
I think that's what, like, hearing you talk about just like your spirituality and these things. Yeah. I think that's what God wanted to show you, in my opinion. Like when you were just like, just show me something, because like when you sent me your bio and told me these things, like I'm thinking you preached all your life, but like you said, it's in ways. Sometimes God will show you in how you need to see it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So do you think Canton for All People was something that he showed you as well? Yeah. Because when I saw that, I first got introduced to it through Kelly. Yeah. Shout out to Kelly Klein. Kelly.
Kelly, a real one.
Yeah. What do you think God was trying to show you when it came to Canton for All People? Because like I love anything that's involved with Canton, and I feel like your experience with your spirituality has tied into that. So what can you tell us about Canton for All People?
Absolutely. So the church that I was pastoring, that I moved down here for, was in Short. And then we started a nonprofit called Flourish 44703 that was doing basically what Canton for All People was doing, but we didn't have the resources that they had. Right. And we were way slower, but we were serving the same community. So how I got to meet like Don and Mike and all the guys that kind of started Canton for All People was we were serving the same neighborhoods and they were doing the same thing that we were doing, but they were just doing it better, to be honest. And so I'm a big like kingdom idea guy. So like if I don't care about getting credit for nothing, like as long as the work is getting done, like that's all I care about. Mm-hmm. And I saw that they were doing it in a more efficient way. So I was like, okay, how could we merge these two to like widen our capacity and do, have a bigger impact? And there was a little delay in there, but eventually it did happen. So that part of I guess my life has been shaped by like this idea of like theology of place, like and a different model, than like a more missional model than it is a attractional one. Okay. Like a traditional kind of attractional model is we have a building, it's on a Sunday, everybody come here on a Sunday, hear a good word, and then go out into the world in your little pockets type of thing. This was more rooted in like let's concentrate our effort and our attention to a specific place. Right. And see like if like when we say, when somebody asks like, well, what does the kingdom look like? Like we can take you to a tangible place and be like, it looks something like this type of thing.
'Cause I just noticed, like, I've been seeing all these different organizations and all these different missions, and I just respect the fact that people can come together, all different walks of life, for Canton. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So what are your goals and future plans that you want to do individually involving the city?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, what's my question?
That was your.
I feel like there's kind of two aspects. It's really one aspect of what I try to do in this development, right? So
Respect.
on one side of it, like my consultancy legacy, I try to figure out ways to help organizations, to help people, to help places, to help communities get to a place where we are investing and kind of bringing some restoration and healing and really just leadership development on that end of the space. Caring for All People allows me to do that on a community like wide space. So like what that practically looks like for Caring for All People is like tenant unions, because 55%, I think it's 55% of city people who live in the city of Canton are tenants, right?
Yeah.
So the majority of people who live in the city are tenants, which makes up the majority of the citizens in our city. But we see what happens in Shore. We see what happens in some of these other places where like landlords aren't like, you know what I mean, holding their end, and it's not right. So figuring out ways to like get them represented and things like that. Ultimately, the goal is to improve the like living conditions of people in the core Canton neighborhoods.
Respect. I would love, like, me just being a mailman, I see it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's why I'm like, just because it's a hood don't mean the people.
And it's just that, and it's really just like a few pockets, you know what I'm saying? And where you have just boarded up houses, just nothing there, just empty space, stuff not being used. I just saw that that little shop across from the tire joint by, what is that, 5th?
Right here on 6th and Shore.
Yeah,
They built that little store, and within the first week, someone broke into it.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't a break-in.
It wasn't a break-in?
It was a car accident.
Oh, okay. I feel better about that because like I drove for FedEx down here.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I was like, oh, they finally got it open. And then it was boarded up.
So that's our store.
Okay.
Camp for All People.
That's what's up. What's the location of it?
It's on the corner of 6th and Shore.
Okay.
603 Shore.
Yep.
Nice.
People can get.
I didn't know that was your thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fresh vegetables, fruits, groceries, meats.
And shout out to the grocery store in the southeast too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Groceries
man.
Gonder, yeah. But they can get food at Shore for completely free, Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 4. And I mean, shout out to Carrie and all the volunteers and Carlos, and all the people that make that a reality. I mean, just to put on, like, just to kind of give a statistic, I guess, like they're averaging around like 300 families a day.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one that, because Brett, he, you know, my boy, he don't live too far from over there.
Yeah.
And when we were driving past, on the way stopping over there while we were at work, lines outside.
Yeah,
and I was like, yo, this place is pop. What
I
is
see
this?
that on my way home to work.
And that was the first time I seen it, because for the longest time there was nothing there. And
And on Fridays they got a picnic for all people, which is like a cookout. So like they go and they like grill hot dogs, burgers, chicken, fish.
yeah, put that on. So you said Tuesday through Thursday they can do
Tuesday through Friday. 11 to 4. And then picnic for all people is 11 to 2.
Check that out.
Stores open 11 to 4, but they do picnic from 11 to 2. And they hit too. Like them burgers be, Brother Esau know what he doing.
I have to stop over there.
I like that, man. So, like I said, this whole episode has just been nothing but positive points, man. But I want to take a break and do that in the next section. So,
Jeans.
leave my jeans alone.
Positive.
Crazy.
Peace, positive points. So I'm going to take a break.
Yeah.
You say a quote. We all say a quote.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make one about my jeans or something.
No,
and then we'll get out of here. All right?
All right.
Episode 140. Jean Peter MC.
Sweet.
Jeremy in the house. My man Zach. Chase. Jordan. Say what you mean. We'll be right back. Peace.
Peace.
Yo, episode 140, Say What You Mean podcast. Jéan, Peter, MC, Seaweeds, Jeremy, Michael is at my man Gino Haynes, and I gotta dap you up, man.
My God.
Thank you for being on the show,
Yeah,
man. I
appreciate
really,
you
really
coming through, man.
appreciate you. This was fun. We love having new guests. This is our first time meeting each other, but I've heard about things you've done, being at these meetings and just being involved in the community. You know, Lucas. So I appreciate you, man. For anyone that contributes to the city who's not from here, respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is my home.
Yeah.
I care about Canton. It's a part of who I am. So anyone that comes and tries to bring change to where I live, and I always appreciate that, man. So
Appreciate y'all.
of course, man. So Sunday, what you got planned today? It's a nice day.
Got flag football with my son after this.
Okay. Flag football. What you got going on, Weez?
Cleaning.
Cleaning. Jeremy, what crockpot recipe you got recipe on today?
Yeah, Pinterest actually.
I don't think I'm actually going to do that crockpot today, but I'm helping a buddy move and doing Fallout later.
All right, Michael is that. What you got going on today?
I golfed yesterday, but I low-key might see if I can go golfing again.
Why you
Shade ahead.
I'm trying to learn, bro.
You trying to learn golfing too?
Yeah, teach me your way.
Listen, I can't. I took my girlfriend golfing for the first time yesterday. She never golfed before. I've golfed a lot. I am not good. I said, listen, I am minimal.
Honesty.
I am
wanna
minimal
learn.
help.
Just
I just
so I
want to
can-
whack.
If anybody wants to go golfing, we can go golfing.
It don't look
I'll go,
easy
bro.
because
We'll go golfing.
I
We'll
got
get-
buddies
we'll get
who
in
go,
contact.
and
We'll
they
go
just
golf.
say, "Yeah, we
I'll
go,
go.
and we just, we just take a six pack out there. We just go, and we just talk, and we bullshit for a few." I hated golf growing up. I thought it was boring. I thought the idea of it was boring. But then, like,
Bro, it's
as I
great.
got older, so
It's
many
great.
people tell me about it, and I'm like, "Yeah, hey, that's what
I've
I
been
like
seeing
to do."
schoolboy Q golfing.
I'm an
too.
introvert.
So
Yeah.
You know what they say? You know what they call it? The other name for it?
golfing.
Whack fuck.
What?
You swing the club, whack fuck.
I've been seeing schoolboy Q golfing. So
I call designated driver if we go. I love driving on golf carts.
you want the golf cart?
Yeah, I love driving those
I'm not,
things.
No, I'm not.
The hardest part of golf is staying calm, because as soon as you start to get flustered and
It looks so peaceful as a sport, though.
it's not.
It's all
not.
routine.
It's technique.
It's
you can
technique
be the
and
most
routine.
athletic
Watch
person
me
in
be
the world and
surprisingly
a
good at
terrible
golf.
golfer.
Who are you?
Like, watch me be surprisingly good.
Did you
at
ever
it.
play baseball or anything as a kid? People that play baseball end up being really good at golf.
I mean, I could play.
I bet you
I
could
did
play
a few
golf.
times with my dad, but like it
Can
wasn't.
you?
It wasn't the sport we played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I figured Jordan could golf because there's something about like a baseball or softball swing that you
Yeah.
can kind of translate into a golf
Yeah.
swing in a way. You got the hip and the shoulders for it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. He dressed like a golf player too, so you know, make a lot of sense. Why?
Why? See, but as soon
Don't
as you
hear
get-
Come on. Of course, he had to make an appearance. Hey, y'all, look, it's Jordan on the Say What You Mean
Shouts to the
podcast.
heights. Shouts to the heights. Shouts to the heights.
Wait, man. How are you doing? Since you just popped on the camera, what's up?
I'm glorious, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man.
skip the formalities.
with your hip hop shirt on, Mister.
Hey, you look like
Schoolboy
a- hey,
Q
you-
golfing
hey, you
now.
look like
Now,
a- you-
now I feel like golfing.
Man, you like an AAU coach.
Hey, if
don't
Big
you?
Sean was golfing, would
Yeah,
you
Big
definitely
Sean was
go
golfing.
golfing?
You would be on it. You would be up at Firestone
You know,
going
you like
crazy.
Big Sean?
He all right.
Yeah.
Is he in your top five?
Isn't he very forgettable?
Oh, y'all trying to get me canceled? No, he ain't in my top five.
He's not in the top
I
five.
respect that he ain't in my
Now, out of all the rappers from our generation, isn't
There you
Big
go.
Sean
There you
like
go.
one of the most forgettable rappers of our generation?
man.
Like when he drops
Keep it real,
music,
Gino.
everybody's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
it's good."
yeah.
But when he's not making music, nobody misses him.
Don't forget you're a man of God. You have to be honest. You have to be.
Don't do that to him.
yeah.
You're like, man, all right.
That's always pull the minister card. Hey, now you know when you a man in the clothes.
Hey,
I be
No,
doing
but-
that to my day. Oh, hey,
Wait.
What did you say, Pastor Rick?
Ask Gino, who your favorite rappers? Do you have some of you?
yeah.
Who you listening to?
Like of all time?
Yeah, whatever.
Jay-Z,
Okay.
Nas.
Okay. Oh, he likes Nas.
that's cool.
You ain't like
That's
Nas?
nice. I mean, I ain't say I bought Hip Hop is Dead.
Apparently, I played. Excuse my language. I played Nas for the hoes too many times.
Okay.
That's what he says I like to do.
In which he does.
Once.
He said that I stand on that.
Yeah, you gotta stand on
You
business.
like Styles P?
Have you ever
Yeah.
cried? Have you ever cried during a Styles P song?
Nah, I ain't never cried.
He has.
No, ain't nobody ever cried.
But I
when
feel like I
Styles
came
speak.
through that like when I was like a real music head. It was like Jay, it was Diplomats, it was the Locks, it was all those cats. Like so like I feel like that was like my like golden
You know how I mean Akron.
Yeah.
You know they get busy up there too.
Yeah, he
yeah.
do. He
Like
from
for real, like I remember like hearing stories about like Cam and all them like
and get in Ohio.
using that.
Kid in
And
Ohio.
It was like I know some people that was affiliated. Long time
it's
ago.
all
Long
good.
time
It's all
ago.
good,
Long
man.
time ago.
For the Patreon episode.
So what's your opinion today? Because you always have one. And don't
An
talk
opinion?
about my pants because my pants are on point.
You talk about them
They
Janko
fit me.
jeans you got on right there.
Boot cuts.
Them Michael Jordan edition.
Boy, you look
Those
like
Fat Farm jeans.
boy, you out here looking like an AAU coach. Don't
Them
do that.
Jabot jeans
Don't
on.
do that.
So,
You about to go coach a girls softball team right now.
So I'm bigging up the community. Shout out to the Heights. I'm out.
All right.
Thank
he
you,
does
Jordan.
that every now and then.
That's
Make some noise for Jordan, y'all. Can we clap it up? I don't got no siren. I got these sound effects in here. Nope. I uploaded the wrong card.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Typical, huh?
It's all good though. Shout out to Jordan,
that
man.
never
Shout out to the
happened
Heights. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, this is P's positive point. We're going to say our points. So, of course, that means something to us.
Yeah.
So who wants to go first? You want to go?
Nah, I mean, I can.
Michael Zach, you got your Dr. Seuss point because he don't. Go ahead.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go. Every episode he does a P's positive point, but apparently he Googles all these philosophical Dr. Seuss quotes. I didn't know Dr. Seuss was so deep until he got on the show. So this is a new discovery.
Okay.
What Dr. Seuss saying today?
You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights.
Bars.
To me, that basically just means you are who you
So
surround
shout out to the
yourself
Heights.
with. Yeah.
Hey, the Heights, yeah.
To me, that just means you are who you surround yourself with. I'm big on that. You'll
100%.
keep good company, make good decisions, and all that.
That's what's up. Good positive point. Jeremy, what you got for us?
Mine's just super simple. It's attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference.
What's that mean to you?
I mean, just whatever your attitude is, it's usually how things play out. You have a good attitude going into a situation, things will usually play out good. If you got a shitty attitude, it's probably not going to go so well.
So you should probably not wake up listening to Juice WRLD.
Because he's throwing shots because you like Juice WRLD.
What's wrong with Juice WRLD?
Sad boy.
Juice WRLD got some bangers. I don't listen to a lot of Juice WRLD. I got ask my son. He got his headphones on now.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
He don't give a- he don't
lost
give a
it.
shit about
You
us.
had some of your favorite rappers saying that man was probably damn near one of the greatest freestylists.
For sure. Shout out Juice WRLD. Jeremy, I like that quote, by the way.
By Winston Churchill.
What's your quote, Krishan? No movie quotes.
It's not even a movie quote. She.
Gino, last time this dude did
It wasn't last time.
the quote
Like
from
five.
Samuel Jackson where he said, dude, what did he say? I would poison and destroy my brothers.
It was
In one of the
basically his
movies-
monologue at the beginning of Pulp
Yeah, he did a
Fiction. I just read
monologue,
it.
but I didn't know it was the monologue.
I was
and
just
I'm
waiting
like,
for them to stop
What?
me.
That's
and
Samuel
they never,
Jackson.
they never stopped me, so I just kept going.
What's your point today?
My point today is the purpose in life is a life of purpose. And that is, to me, it's just, we all called to do something. And when you are called to do that, you got a choice, either step up or go ahead and let the opportunity pass you by. You can be like this man here, and just every opportunity that comes your way, you just take them. And like you said, take risks. Some of those put you in Lions dens or Louisville dens. However you want to
Louisville dens.
But that worked out. I'm glad it worked
Then
out.
the Leopards.
The leopards did.
The leopards den.
The leopards did.
But no, like I said, I mean, I don't shit on nobody, and there are people everywhere who are nice. I'm sure there's, like I said, reasonable people, and you found those people out while you were out there, and I believe that was your purpose, was to reach out to them and connect with those people, and who knows who they're going to connect with, and how that experience reached them, and who they can reach through that. So, I'm just congratulations.
He was like, hey, bro.
You went there? You made it out?
Yeah. You got in, you got out, you did your job.
No, but I respect that altogether, bro.
Because a lot of people probably would have just said,
No.
fuck it.
Yeah.
Or no.
But he did it.
But yeah, you stuck it out and you did have those conversations. You actually not only, I'm going to do this, I'm going to challenge you while I'm here too.
Yeah.
And, that takes a lot of courage, especially when you did it in that era. Because, bro, that was like walking in there with no guns.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like saw
Like,
the
the world
snake.
was crazy, let alone like.
Yeah,
If James Earl Jones asked you to do it again, would you do it?
you got to.
So here's the thing, like
If God
if
called,
God,
yeah.
if God calls me to anything, and I'm confident that it's God, I'll jump through it. I'll run through a brick wall.
Yeah, but if it was Louisville, you'd be like, God, come on. God,
I'm gonna do it, but
I'm a go, but I'm a complain the whole
Yeah,
time.
I might
ain't
be
gonna
like
be heavy.
Jonah on that one. Like, man,
100%.
yeah.
That's a good
can I
point.
bring items this time?
Gino, what you got for us, man? What's your positive point for this episode?
Yeah, I would say know yourself, know who you are, know who you're not, and then figure out how you being you solves a problem.
Like that.
Like I do take opportunities, but I don't take opportunities that cater towards something that I'm not. So like, I know I'm very secure in who I am. And so like, if something is going to compromise, or me having to do something that compromises who I am and what things I bring to the table, then I probably won't take those opportunities. But if I didn't know myself, then I wouldn't know what to say yes to, what to say no to. Or even just like having the security of knowing exactly what I bring to the table. So yeah, know yourself, know what you're not, and then figure out where you being you solves a problem.
I like that.
And read the fine print.
Yeah. Man, my positive point is from Jack Welch, and I was really inspired by your story. That transparency you shared when you were just like, what do I do? Because I think everybody in life has one where we're like, what's next? What do we do? So my positive point is change before you have to. And I like
That's
that.
good.
Yeah, because eventually we are going to have to change in some way, shape, or form, whether we like to or not.
Yeah.
And that was inspiring to me because you knew something was going on in your life and you had to. Some people would have been stuck
Yeah.
and just settled with just that.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever, I'm just going to live my life. But the fact that you wanted to change, you knew you had to change.
Yeah. And I still do.
Yeah.
Like I still like, I am Kobe Bryant obsessed with being the best version of myself.
100%.
And I just truly believe that if I do that work, like that's the work of life. Like the work, if I do that work, I know God is faithful enough to put me in the places where that version of myself fixes something. Like, and what it feels like that sounds super confident, but like what it feels like in like practically is like when I go into spaces, like because I am like articulate, because I am whatever, like I get to go in certain spaces and I know, and those spaces are honestly intimidating, but like, even though I'm nervous, even though my hands are sweaty, even though whatever, like I know that there's something that's inside me that God deposited that the room needs. And like that confidence is the thing that like I don't have a ton of confidence in my own natural ability, but I do have confidence in God. And so I feel like if I know that God is like behind something, or I can see God moving outside of just what I can do on my own, then I'm like, all right, like we can, like this is something that God wants to do, so I'm in, like type of thing. As opposed to like I've done in the past so many things that I've like tried to build on my own that like was just me. Like it was good enough because like I'm skilled enough to do it, but it wasn't like sustainable.
Yeah.
Like, so like for me, it's all about sustainability. Like I'm not trying to be like real quick with a solution if it's going to be like an overnight failure. Like it seems like it's a solution up front, but then like it's all these back, things. I'd rather go like slow and steady as opposed to just,
This is my favorite way to end the podcast because even though we miss church, it's always a good point because we always end it with a good quote. I think that's the best way to end it. And this one was special to me because, like I said, you being a man of God,
Yeah.
These words hit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So when certain people talk, we have certain guests who walk in faith. When we do the positive point at the end, it like all makes sense. So thank you for that story.
Yeah,
I got to
bro.
dap you up for that,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Because I love that.
Appreciate
I
you.
love when people can come on here and really say what they mean. No one will come on here and admit and say like, hey, I was messed up. I needed God.
I will.
Yeah, we will on this show. Because truth be told, man, regardless, God is the reason we are here.
Yeah.
Like even with yesterday, I didn't want to say nothing about it, but I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis on the 18th of March.
Man.
And where it got me at was my speech. So the nerves that allowed me to speak are damaged. So sometimes like my speech would be really messed up.
Yeah.
And I was really insecure about it. Rapping, even being on this episode, there were some episodes where I'm like, I can hear it.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I recorded a song and it came out just fine.
Yeah.
And I was so proud of that, man. Like I said it to everybody, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just small things like that
Bro.
that just made me thank God. I'm not a person to want to thank God for no money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because even when I didn't have money, I was happy.
Yeah.
I'm okay now. But things like that,
Yeah.
being 34,
Yeah.
like my speech is my moneymaker.
Yeah.
So like when I was messed up, it had me messed up. I didn't know how
Yeah.
to tell these guys like, hey, yo, I'm gonna sound a little funny.
Yeah.
You know, but like I really thank God for that.
Yeah,
So like
and the things that like bro, like God, like my life is a living testimony that like
Yeah.
the deficits and the things that like are wrong with us are the things that God always uses to like crumble the proud.
yeah.
Like it's always those little things that are off. Like growing up, people would like make fun of my voice because it was like, yo, like where you from? Like you don't like why you talk like that or whatever. But now I'm like, every time I go in, I speak it somewhere, they're like, bro, like your voice, I can listen to it forever.
Yeah.
Like, but I was growing up, I was super insecure about it. But it's always like those like little things, like, you know, the Bible says like in my, you know, in your weakness, my power is made perfect. My grace is sufficient. Like it's enough. Meaning like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like we always try to put like our best presentation thing forward, but like I actually like talk more about my vulnerabilities than I do about my like, or my weaknesses more than I do about like my strengths, because like to your point earlier, like people don't feel like things are achievable when you just present your polished best version of whatever.
Yeah.
But if I lead with my weaknesses, like, yo, like, nah, like I know it seemed like I got all this together, but like this, I actually struggle. Like I actually struggle with the same things you struggle with. It feels like it's like more tangible. And honestly, I didn't know any of that stuff, but there is always like, even like when we were having our conversations initially before this, like there was something about your voice that was actually like intriguing to me. So like, the thing that like might be, you know, thing of insecurity might be the very thing that God uses to like touch people.
That's exactly what I thought, because when I first got diagnosed, I mean, like the way they was talking, it was like it was over, and I was just like, nah, I've been through way worse in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was my test. God was like, all right, what you gonna do now? Because I found out like a week after I turned 34, and I was just like, man, I never had a problem with the way I spoke. You know what I'm saying? My speech. But like, I was like, nah, I'm going to use this as a way to show people I can still do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to let it stop me.
Yeah.
There's some people who have way worse forms of MS to where they can't even walk.
Yeah.
I can still walk.
Yeah.
I can still talk. I may have a little speech, but it's like, I can still talk. So I'm like, God, thank you, because this can be taken away. I could not say nothing at all. My eyes can be taken away. My hearing can be taken away. And I was like, no, I got everything else.
Yeah.
A speech impediment is all right. Then I thought about my favorite rappers who got speech impediments.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conway.
You took your hair and you still here. Good, man.
I don't think
That's
he's
what
ever
told
given that back.
See what I mean? My pants,
man.
my pants, I'm still here, man. In my Brett Favre jeans.
Crocs
you know
a little
what I'm saying?
dusty.
It's
Still
all
here.
good. We still here. You know what I'm saying?
Beard don't connect. Still here.
All right, that's enough.
Dang.
All right.
Glasses big
No,
as hell. Still here.
Hairline disappeared, still here.
Shut up.
Hey.
All right. No, just playing with y'all. I love y'all, man. I appreciate this episode, Gino. Thank
Yeah,
you
bro.
again, brother.
Yeah, man.
Any last
Anytime.
shout outs before we get
See
out
you,
of
man.
here?
Glad to have you on here.
Any
Man.
last
Likewise.
shout outs? Any last shout outs?
Just shout my girl, man. She's doing this pregnancy thing, and
Yeah,
like,
shout
it's
out, Pete.
rough,
Congratulations.
man, but she be making it work, and she don't be making me miserable in the interim. So like, I really appreciate that. She really holding it together. He's kicking crazy, bro. Like, I talked to him, the baby, and like, bro,
know.
I figured.
like,
I use
Oh,
context.
like kicking the shit out of the side of my head last night. That was like so cool. I didn't get to see it. I didn't get to feel that last
Can't
night.
wait for little man to come.
Yeah, it was dope.
Congratulations.
But like,
What's up?
it's like he's reacting to me because like I was sitting there and my lips right there on the bed. I was like, "What are you doing in there, man? You got to calm down. It's time for bed."
How
And
far
I started
out are you?
Feeling this. She's doing August.
Okay. Oh, you coming up?
Around the corner, bro.
So like I could feel like it was almost like it was like underneath her skin, like right on my lips, and that shit was just cool as hell.
That's adorable, man.
Yeah, I love
Amazing.
it. It's
That's
dope.
cute.
He's already trying to beat
No
your ass.
feeling, bro.
Say
No
what?
feeling like
He's already trying to beat you.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Nah, her daughter be beating the hell out of me. I'm abused over there. Actually, this is a cry for help.
By a 9-year-old, was she 9, 10?
She's 9.
Damn,
She's
bro.
waiting on it right now.
Kids.
As soon as I get back in the house. No, it's funny because we
So
were
where
teaching
you been?
Right, where you at?
Yeah. We were teaching the dog how to play volleyball with the balloons earlier. He actually learned. It's crazy. I got a video I'll show y'all. But yeah, it's actually like toss the balloon to him and he's jumping in the air, flipping around like to keep it in the air and shit. That's what I'm doing now. I used to run the streets. If you guys
Now I'm showing dogs how to play ball.
showing dogs how to play volleyball with my
Nah, man, but thank y'all for watching. Say what you mean. We'll be back next week. We got my man Zach Angeloni next week. Gino, thank you for being on the show. Episode
Appreciate you
140.
coming
We
on.
gonna see y'all. Say what you mean. Peace.
Peace.
Say what you mean. Mean what you say. I'm from the 330. Where them boys don't play. Say what you mean. Mean what you say. I'm from the 330. Where them boys don't play. From the northwest to the northeast. Say my name once and they know it's me. Southeast to the southwest. No arguments. Yeah, I got next. Jean P. 1, 2. Let me talk my shit again real quick. I will not settle. These was